You are.
Where do you want us to count down from?
27.
26.
3.
25. 24.
I'm going first, right?
23.
All right, 3, 2.
Slow
1.
down.
You got me?
Welcome to video 8 of Enter the Crucible. We're here watching a game between Adam Stewart's Goreshade 3 versus Dr. Tran's Testament of Menoth.
Dr. Tran!
And we
Sorry.
will start with...
It's really tough whenever he comes to my house and he walks through the door. I always want to go, oh, hello!
And you do.
And I do, but sometimes I hold off.
It's only racist if you have the dong and you like to do the noise.
The gong?
The gong.
I have the dong. I just don't have the gong.
You said dong.
Somebody edit that.
Nope.
Hey, look, there's stuff
Okay,
happening.
so there's a game. What is the scenario that they are playing?
My caster's going to go.
Good question.
It's the one with the
Isn't
big
that one
circle
called
in the
supply and
middle,
demand?
and then their objectifiers
This
in
is
the middle.
the Control 1 Dominate 2, but this is the one where you cannot dominate the zone if the enemy objective is in your deployment
You
zone.
cannot dominate.
It's Killbox as well, though,
You
correct?
can't dominate.
Exciting touch.
It is Killbox. I remember
It is
them.
Killbox, and you can kill the objective for 1 point.
I believe you meant
objective.
control area and not deployment zone, because I'm fairly certain the objectives are not in deployment zone.
Wait, there's objectives in our deployment zone now? Whose dumb idea was
Everything
that?
I say is accurate and 100%. You
No,
can question it.
Yeah.
What maybe this hasn't been brought up, maybe it has, but Mayhew has a tendency to skim important things and then interpret them on his own to come up with rules.
You're a damn dirty liar.
Does anyone else want to disagree with
a
me?
beautiful Goreshade 3 advancing in the middle of the field.
That's just because you painted it. Shut
Wait,
up.
who painted that?
I might have. Why don't you zoom in?
Hey,
on
actually, yeah, you should totally zoom in on that
Actually,
model. It's
let's-
actually a really awesome looking model.
Okay, fine.
Okay, the scenario is supply and demand. And this is the objective that you get free charging if you're within 4 inches of it.
Looks like crap from here.
Yeah.
That cape is really nice looking, though.
It looks
It's very
like
pretty.
he put Infernal Machine on the Arc node, advanced it, and threw a Special Wraith forward and Goreshade forward.
I wish I could zoom around it.
One of these days.
You can barely see any blend lines on that cape. That's pretty good. I know that's what you were going for. And it's sexy.
Other stuff's apparently going on as well, but I think we should keep this camera angle.
Well, let me
for the
just press
entire
this
match.
button. Press this button. Oh, the advances of modern science.
It looks like
So speed...
Scything Touch went on the Soul Hunters, which is
speed
a
on your
fantastic
cat is
spell to put on a unit that has 3 attacks.
okay, reach on the charge.
You're cranking effectively 6 extra damage when they make attacks, assuming they all hit.
Yes.
Assuming.
Soul Hunters are one of those things I'm really glad just kind of saw a recent renaissance of. Yeah, they're actually really good.
Renaissance.
A recent Renaissance? I'm curious.
I hate you all.
Why did you choose to use that word, Mayhew? Does
I
it
was-
make it sound like you're smarter?
I probably would have chose a
I don't think so.
resurgence.
Okay.
Resurgence.
Resurgence?
Yes.
I think Renaissance isn't
No,
that
it's the
far.
proper word.
I
He
don't
just
know.
It's just a funny word to use. I don't know.
Perhaps the Soul Hunters are entering an age of both artistic and social enlightenment.
They
And
might be.
They're bettering their society, seeing rapid growth.
That is not what
And
Renaissance
fellow
means.
Soul Hunter?
Yeah.
We should probably mention who's actually on the commentary. We have
Oh, they can guess.
Jerk 1, Jerk 2, Jerk 3, Jerk 4, and Old Man Withers.
I wonder who Old Man Winters is.
I don't know. He just got off his tablet, though.
He's still working on his rip horn. Being a good boy.
You're still working on it after a week?
How's that? How's that?
We certainly didn't record a podcast, go to Chipotle, and then come back and do another podcast.
Whoa,
right
whoa,
after.
whoa.
There was a whole 7 days in between the Chipotle
Like I said,
and
we
the...
didn't.
Oh, we
do
didn't.
that.
Okay,
and we're
yeah.
not going to record one right after this either.
All right. Something to note, the Soul Hunters advanced through the forests. Since they activated within Derek Wraith's command range, they gain incorporeal. So a
Does
lot
the
of
whole
times when
unit?
you have a large force in front of your deployment zone, you have to be conscientious of what unit you put behind it to make sure they can advance through it. So Soul Hunters behind a big force, as long as Derek Wraith's around, fantastic.
Do they all get it, or
choice.
just the ones in his control area?
Just the one in his command area?
But his command is a
Yeah.
9 or a
I
10.
believe it's a 9.
Yeah,
it
it
is-
gives him a lot of room.
And why do they get 3 attacks each?
They have 3 base attacks.
Well, they have 2 base... 1 reach, 1 non-reach, and then they got the mount.
And as light cav, they're allowed to make their mount attack. Also, of note, the incorporeal only lasts for their activation.
Correct.
So it's not the whole round. It's just for a lot of movement.
Looks like Troy did an assault with the Reckoner right away to go after the...
So much for that Reckoner just standing around.
10.
I feel like this is probably the most commentators we've ever had. This,
Yeah, we're a little busy.
You might actually hear us talking.
No, I do too.
and we're still going to find lots of dead air. Don't worry about that, folks.
No, it's actually really sad. This is the first time I've been on a commentary for a game.
Yeah, it's sad for us too.
Do the Soul Hunters naturally have
Old Man
Pathfinder?
Wither strikes again. You young
Most
whippersnappers.
likely, are there any light cav that don't naturally have Pathfinder?
I'm shrugging. I don't know.
I don't think Soul Hunters
Okay.
actually have Pathfinder.
To the war
I could be
rooms.
wrong.
To the war rooms.
I'm so used to every time they activate, they get incorporeal.
War
you don't
room's
look
a
that
crutch.
roll up.
I'm pretty sure the circle stuff does.
Of course, it's a circle thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it should.
It's
Is there
hard
any
to find circle
model
without
that doesn't
Pathfinder.
have a Pathfinder in Circle?
Some of the beasts don't.
Some of the beasts don't. Yeah, it's
That's within
unfortunate.
Soul Hunters do not naturally have Pathfinder.
It looks
So
like
if somehow he killed Dara Wraith, that's not going to happen.
He could.
No, I have yet to see Dara Wraith die
Their Wraith hides like bitch.
on anything but like the 8th turn.
Yeah, he's a pretty annoying solo to try.
Does
What's
he
his
have, does he
armor?
have stealth?
For now, or?
No, he just hides.
No, he's 14, 17.
He's also a
Hit boxes
Dragoon.
in the Dragoon rule, so you have to kill him twice.
If their Wraith is like killing stuff, the Crix player is in trouble.
Not necessarily, because a lot of times he can charge forward, kill something, he has a Battle Wizard, get the spell off that he wants, and then light cav back to safety. I have Derek Wraith kill stuff all the time.
Harmonious Exaltation.
Well, your stuff.
Sometimes if they're in the way, Derek Wraith's a good thing to use.
No, I meant his stuff.
No, that requires Matt to play more games.
Oh, yeah, that's
I have a
true.
game on film, sir.
Yeah.
One.
One of the 5 War Machine games you've ever played.
Because of the...
It's impressive amount of
And I very
skill
nearly
you
won.
displayed.
So what does
Yeah.
that tell you? You guys all suck.
So,
No, that tells you that I suck.
Carter, I'm curious. Why
Just to
would
clarify.
you match?
suck off? And I just stopped.
There will be no talk of strategy.
I don't even know who's playing.
Never mind.
What was that, Jeff?
Everybody done? Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just going to ask Carter, as a Crix player, would you match up your light cav against the Avengers on the same side of the table as these guys have here?
Yes and no.
That doesn't answer the question.
It doesn't. I'm going to explain.
Maybe? I'm sorry.
The thing is you have, if the Soul Hunters get into the Avengers, they can do a lot of damage, especially with Sighting Touch. They need Sighting Touch to actually do
Terror
it.
will only affect
And with the ability to get the Incorporeal, they could
Terror is
charge
also living.
past the
As long as I
Avengers,
just-
potentially,
Terror is also living Terror
and
Spirits.
maybe get the back guys with their
As long
speed.
as I get the +1.
The downside is Avengers charging Soul Hunters is going to end them. So it's kind of a fairly even matchup. If Troy's smart, he can keep Avenger back and start reviving them back in to go charge the remaining Soul Hunters.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, he doesn't care, really, if you charge the Avengers with
It's
Soul
gonna come
Hunters,
down
because he's going to kill the Soul Hunters eventually.
Assuming that Stuart might try and find a clever way to wipe out the unit. So it's going to be a game of whether or not Troy can hide that last Avenger to keep the revive machine.
There's going to be a lot of wiping in this episode.
And you also got to be cautious because on his feet he can make them incorporeal too, so you're not
Correct.
hiding from anything from them.
That's essentially what makes this matchup interesting. It's like you have Mockery versus Revive. You have Soul Mechanics to make Testament better. You have the fact
Random
that
incorporeal.
it's really hard for Testament not to trigger the free spell on Goreshade.
But you also have to remember, too, that Goreshade's feat can affect Avengers if he can find a way to get rid of the book. So let's see what happens there. Because if he can feed on the Avengers, he can stall them for a turn and potentially wipe out the unit.
The book is really hard to kill.
It is indeed. So the book's going to be a very key component of this game. I mean, Goreshade has all sorts of tools to try and get up on models that are hidden in the back. So let's see if he can utilize them.
You know, that whole
Also very hard to put together.
that whole sacrificing one cav is a common tactic control just to make sure you don't get the charge. You only lose one. It's so much better in this when you get to bring it back.
Correct.
Yeah, but you get
Yeah,
and
you know
and
what?
he's
That's
given
what
battle
trolls
driven.
really need. We need to be able to bring Long Riders back because no one in the game would be upset about that at all.
No, it seems fair. Revive and trolls. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us a chance.
I'd
to
have
bring
a
back
whole
the
new
best
Meat Mountain
cavalry in the
caster,
game.
that's for sure.
Am I correct in thinking that Avengers don't have magic weapons, magic melee weapons?
Melee, no. It's just a pound 9 weapon master.
Okay.
They have blessed lances.
Their lances are.
Correct,
They're
but that's a
lances.
melee attack on the charge only. They don't get to use that when they're
So-
stuck in combat.
So throwing the forward guy there might not do what Dr. Tran's hoping it's going to do.
I think he's hoping that it's going to trigger battle
No,
driven.
because he's hoping
That
hoping
too.
for it to be killed to trigger battle driven, so he can get the next turn. But if he does with Darl Wraith and Incorporeal, he's just going to go right past them. He may have the range to kill 3 of those Vengers from there, maybe more.
But I
Also,
think
too,
he's
you got to
just-
remember, Blackbanes can actually do something very interesting to Avengers by setting them on fire, maybe doing a couple points of damage, even with one. The fire kills them off on the next turn. Testament doesn't get the soul to the following turn, so you can deny the immediate revive rate there.
I'm not going to allocate.
Is that the timing of it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Maintenance, then does he replenish souls in the control phase?
Well,
we'll start
actually,
with
that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I
I think he's just making Adam Stewart make a decision
Yeah.
on what he's doing with the Soul Hunters. Like, we're going to figure this
Adam
out
Stewart
early.
was talking his
reach.
arc node has lost its core
Every
text, which
just
is
kind
kind
of
of
reach model over there.
given its position, it can probably get where it wants to, but
Especially with
That's
Infernal
never
Machine, you're looking at
way back there, so I'm trying to avoid
speed
getting in
9
melee range of
walk.
anybody.
You know,
I can check melee range.
I feel like Infernal Machine
No.
is too good of a spell to only have one Jack on the
Spray
list.
Your book.
I don't know. It's
So range 8.
you try and I've tried to write Goreshade 3 lists, and I have a hard time with it just because he has spells that
Pretty sure
affect
it's just
units
the book.
differently. He has so many good synergies in the army. You just kind of have to pick what you're going to go with. It's
Okay, so on
like,
the book,
okay, I want Soul Hunters and Bane Riders
5
for the
7.
revive, and then or the
Miss.
Mockery of Life, and then I want a Kraken to get use of
Hit.
Infernal Machine or a
Sounds like,
Harrower, and I want Black
Honest
Beans to be good
punch.
feet targets,
total
or I want
19.
Bile Thrall to take use of Occultation. You just can't fit it all in one list.
All the choices of making things good. Oh,
Yeah,
this
right?
is
Isn't it
terrible.
that's why he's a great toolbox caster. It's what toolbox casters do. They don't have a definitive build.
Okay.
What would be your module for Goreshade 3? Since we're talking about toolboxes.
module.
No, we're going to ignore that just happened. No one gets to talk for 2 minutes.
I kind of like the Death Jack with him.
I didn't actually expect you to answer that question, but cool.
Yeah. That's the only difference. But
Death
that's
Jack's great with most casters, but Goreshade 3 is
Really?
another one he has good synergies with.
Death Jack would be great in any list. I could put Death Jack in my Morvana list and be like,
Soul Hunters
this
guy?
is working out for me. This
well,
is cool.
you have
Wait,
Infernal
which
Machine
Morvana?
and then another
Either.
casting
This
of
guy?
It's freaking Death Jack.
I'm gonna see who's
you have
going
Infernal Machine and
foil.
another casting of Siphon Bolt.
10-inch range.
Actually, I think you're better off with a Nightmare,
This
but
guy's speed 8.
that's just because he scares little children.
And I think the downside of the Death Jack is that it advanced deploys.
Yes.
Yeah, it's super downside.
As somebody once tried to argue to us once.
That's a negative. It's not a positive. It's not a benefit. It's a trap. It's a trap.
He's going to charge.
And as we mentioned in the podcast, the Inflictor is good with him. I mean,
No taste buds can repel a force from that.
That's a Legion thing.
It's the Inflictor.
You know,
High
few
end?
people really
Is that
commit to the
Afflictor?
Admiral Akbar promise, like Clint does. Just
It looks like Stewart's throwing his Soul Hunters towards the what are the Flamebringers.
Let your soul.
One Flamebringer and the Vengers.
Also going into the Vengers.
The great use of Soul Hunters.
They're playing tug of war.
They still get the +2 from the charge.
I'm an 8 on the charge.
Plus
He's
2
my
mana on
big
the
6. 8 and 7 hits. No critical. Pound strength of 15 right now. So that's 17. So 7. That guy is team control.
Oh, yeah.
It's a dead Venger. It looks like Troy spaced out his Cav very well to utilize the soul ability.
yeah, and also, like you said, keep that one in the back that they couldn't reach for revive.
Yep. Looks like he's got 2 that'll be safe.
I don't think he's in.
And one over a wall, he might not hit. He's only got 1 attack at the reach.
And this is the nice thing about Testament's passive ability, which is I get the soul, you do not.
His charge attack here.
Framebringer, no die.
You're a 15. Right? So I need 9.
The unfortunate thing, you don't
Second
really see a good use for Ashen Veil in this particular matchup because there's no living.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Stewart's upset he's not getting a feat right now.
That's good for him. He only got.
It's give and takes.
And Stewart's moving his guys with the
Light cav.
light cav advancement to keep him from being able to charge because he'll be stuck using melee weapons. instead of spears. Well,
I'm
lances.
just trying to.
They still have Weapon
Well-
Master on their punchy sticks.
Okay,
I-
game's finished.
That's
It's
fair.
dice minus 6 on your attacks, though.
Yeah.
To the armor 15 Soul Hunters.
But he'll be able
So you're
to.
looking
He'll
at
be able to
a
bring
dead
some
soul
Vengers
hunter.
back far enough that he'll get. If he brings those revives those others, he'll be able to charge with.
That's true.
From Ashen Vale. Yeah. So super high defense.
They just have to be in coherency.
Actually, from being a Menoth player, I would say Troy would be okay with just placing those guys a little bit to give the
these things,
Knight Exemplar
they're going
charge
to
lanes, because those are pile 11 Weapon Masters from the back. He can get
So,
to at least 3 of the cav.
That objective seems to be in the way.
These models are incorporeal. There's 2 are incorporeal.
I've yet to see him do it, but popping the feet for Attrition on the Testament side seems like an interesting idea. Just use it.
Then again, you can also just constantly hold that feat in your pocket for the assassination pressure. You can never mess
Scary
up.
ass feet.
You can
First
never
we go,
misplay your caster, or I will
Count
end
his
you.
arcs is just 10, right?
I will break you.
I'll crash you.
Versus
Got some
Slider.
Ivan Drago coming in there.
Yeah. Ja, van Strudel. Wait, that's... Never
We're
mind.
going to Scarlet Ghost, Scarlet
Yeah,
Advance.
that was all wrong.
He's going to also take the Black Bands. Okay. Black Bands.
Occultated black bands.
They're going to
Such a pain.
charge.
Yeah,
He's charging her.
if you don't have the
So,
answer
7,
for it.
so there's a bunch. He's charging that one.
Like good old gun mages.
Curious what the
charge
occultation
down.
was for, because Troy doesn't have too much shooting aside from the
he's gonna
Reckoner,
charge this
which
one
can't
as well.
hurt the Black Veins.
Maybe the magical battle engine.
On my recorder, on my
that
recorder
big battle
screen,
engine.
Yeah.
my recorder screen, Stewart is like super white, like almost blending in with the table.
There's all of them, right?
That's how you like it.
Alright, so I have 2 swings on him. On a 6. 6 and 8.
Pasty white nerd.
14 miss. Second swing on her. Miss. 2 swings on her. New 9s.
Shocker.
That'll miss.
Yeah, shocking.
And that'll
Looks
miss.
like we're doing
There's
a
a-
bunch of missing.
Yeah.
Okay, so these 4 corporeal. Okay.
A lot of that was going to Flamebringers, which with their obscene
Just
defense
rifle
is
advance.
you don't expect to hit with just mat 6.
Just rifle advance.
Actually,
There's
I'm
the
double
guy.
checking that, but I
There's
think
the
they're doing it
advance.
wrong.
What?
I believe they're 14-15s, not 15-14s. So
So he has
No,
Rupert.
he put
He has
Rupert
Rupert.
on.
So they're
Oh,
15,
okay.
Yeah,
15.
that's
There's gonna be
okay.
Beyond Death.
I didn't know that he did that.
Just against this
Damage
army, they're
rolls
not
on- for
17,
living models that
15s.
are in his command.
Yeah, because Ashen Vale.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ashen
Yeah,
Vale.
because you don't play test.
He puts Ashen Vale on his frame bringers.
Yeah, I know.
Frame bringers. The bringers of the frame. Frames. Like,
No, Troy and I decided, I'll own
bring
Aaron's
pictures of...
and play P7, and he would play Testament with Vengers.
That was the peace accord you came to?
Yes, we decided that we couldn't both play the same stuff. So,
That doesn't sound like it happened.
no,
No.
it didn't.
Seeing how he's been playing Testament longer than you've been playing the game.
Times 3.
My caster left. True.
And he's a doctor.
They call him Dr. Love.
I also just noticed that a battle engine is really close to an elevation, which sucks.
What do you mean it sucks?
Because you put a battle engine on a small hill and you get
Are you rooting against Dr. Tran?
line of sight to everything.
Are you rooting for Crix?
The one soul.
I'm just trying to be,
focus, so I would have 6.
even.
Correction.
That's never going to happen, Pirate Captain.
You
never.
don't have to look at me to talk to me.
He does, actually.
Just look at your
He
microphone.
feels obvious to look into your eyes
8
deeply.
episodes of podcasts and 8 videos.
Look,
and
I was-
you still
I was
can't
in
figure
3
out
of
to
them.
look into a camera to talk to it.
Yeah. Everyone else has figured this out.
Huh? Yeah.
So when you hear his soft, boyish voice just whistling in and out of focus,
He's
it's
not
'cause
using
he's
his
bobbling his head around.
drive-through
Stop, you're
voice.
just ignorant.
His drive-through/phone voice.
Stop, you're just ignorant.
This is Mayhew. This is my polite voice.
Yeah. No focus.
I'm allowed to have polite voice.
No, you're not.
Polite voices are good to have.
Looks like the battle engine's activating and moving forward.
Shoot the
Into
objective.
What?
the
There's a
woods.
battle engine?
12 inch range.
That was Carter's response.
I totally did not see it. They were setting up.
It's like a huge base and everything.
I know. I thought it was terrain or something.
He thought it was one of those little huts.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to move my gazebo.
It does kind of look like one of the gazebos.
Yes. You're 15.
Yeah. So
Looks like he's firing in on
Those
some
are
paint
tribal living facilities.
That's okay. 4 left. Just
Tribal what?
Nothing.
That front, you keep going.
Just-
Sorry, never mind.
plus this one model.
You sure you're okay?
It'll definitely be
I
charged.
might have had another little mini stroke.
Armor
17.
glass. Looks like he clipped Tartarus with the
Is that
bounce.
considered a living model?
That's always nice.
Kill Tartarus. We all hate Tartarus.
Dice minus 7, so that's a little bit rough. Looks like he did two damage to him.
Looks like we will now break our record for commentators as Mike has entered the ring.
Oh, hello, Mike.
Grim
Tartarus
can kill him.
can be a key man in this matchup because he actually removed from plays when he boxes living models.
Yeah, when is Tartarus not a key man in the list that he's in?
When he plays against Grim, then he just gets shot.
yeah, that's what I would say. When he just randomly dies.
Like, oh, there goes 4 points.
I can
was
never
still a
one-shot
key man.
Tartarus. I never one-shot Tartarus. Ever. It
I've
never
one-shotted
happens.
Tartarus, and I've one-shotted Slaughterborn against Mike, and Mike didn't believe it
Well,
happened.
that's why Jarl has 2 pistols.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm playing Jarl now.
Hey,
Or until Reinhold starts working for Trolls.
do you guys know anyone that plays Gumbjorn?
The other 2 were just
You know, I was wondering how I was going to get Gunbjorn into this matchup.
I just want to say, I
Thank
saw
you,
somebody
Jeff.
commentating our video where we talked about Gunbjorn. It's like, why the hell are they talking about Gunbjorn? It makes no sense. Shut up and talk about the game already.
I think another
I bought
comment
Dozer and
was
Smig yesterday.
You knew what this was.
another comment was like, you should guys just play Gunbjorn and get it over with.
No.
Pal 10.
It's called edging.
It's called edgy. You wouldn't understand.
I think Dozer and Smig make a play.
The
It's gonna be on.
melee weapon attack
No.
on the
They
chicken.
don't.
I think they do.
I was listening to a podcast. I don't remember which one, but they're talking about
Pal 9.
he wanted to run Runes of War with Meat Mountain.
Ouch.
So he put Dozer and Smig instead of Mulg in the Meat Mountain list so that it makes Gristle basically gives Artillers to Gristle some, which makes her Rat
That'd be
7.
interesting.
Or Rat 8, actually, sorry, I think she's Rat 6 base.
I think so.
Yeah, so
What I'm hearing...
she's Rat 8. That's not bad.
I mean, I haven't checked, but apparently what you're saying is there's a lot of groundswell
So about this
support.
game, we're done Gunbjorn. The Flamebringers are bouncing around the Black Range right now, doing what they do.
Do you know we could dig in, guys?
Yeah? Focus, gentlemen, focus.
Got it?
Fury. No, Gumbjorn uses Fury.
Have you made your pig list yet? For Circle?
My pick? No, dude, I'm not doing that.
Dude, you have to.
I don't kill my own stuff.
They're
Does this
sidestepping
actually
advanced rolls.
pertain to this current game?
No, we
No,
actually
no,
are
of
seeing
course
the Flamebringers dance that they do, bouncing
Last
around.
melee attack, I'm going to actually roll for it. Hits.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you have crit radius. Okay.
That is an interesting roll you see from Mark 1.
I need another one of these.
You do auto hit in melee. You may choose to roll when attacking in melee in order to try to trigger a critical effect, like he was saying. However, double ones does auto miss if you choose to roll.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know what trumps auto missing? Auto hitting.
Oh, Parkham, you're talking about choosing to roll when a model's knocked down?
Yeah, that actually just came up.
Because he has a crit effect that would ignore
Right,
stuff.
the tough. Yeah.
I'd do it.
Yep, tough.
Looks like Flamebringers are doing what they do, dancing around, killing a bunch of infantry.
Here, melee weapon attack against the same guy.
The knockdown.
The knockdown one.
I may not have done a great job with my Harbinger list showcasing that. I'm hoping Troy does, because they're a fantastic light cav unit to have with Menoth.
I thought you were doing really well until you died.
Had him go on some of the others.
Thank you.
Here.
You know,
Until the
when,
recording started, you were kicking ass.
when they first came out, a lot of people were down on them.
Got it.
I think they're fantastic. You just gotta
That's this one.
know where they're good and apply them.
6.
Okay, I can't get the
Yeah,
whole
there is.
board and the... See, there's a stupid thing called a ceiling fan, which in Florida you have to have in every room because it's always hot. And I can't get the camera to cover the whole table because of that stupid ceiling fan.
There's just a bonus.
Yeah, it's always hot in Florida, and it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Attack on the knockdown guy.
That was awful.
This is Almanac.
Well,
You're with me.
it is his favorite show because his idol is Danny DeVito because someone that short making that much money is...
It's inspiring.
It's
So are you
See,
saying
that's
that
how you
Jeff
use the correct
looks
terminology
up
with
to
a
Danny
big word.
DeVito?
Oh, that was a good one.
Short burn.
So
It's
anyway,
like it wasn't me this time.
back to the game.
Jeff
Yay!
is tiny.
His favorite villain is the penguin.
Yeah, there's your gun.
Actually, the guy in Princess Bride, this really smart guy, because he was really short.
Oh, he was really short, actually.
If I was going
Yeah,
to pick
he
like a
died.
short bad guy, totally him.
I thought Jeff's villain was the guy who holds the sign at the roller coaster. It
Black
says you
unit?
have to be
You're gonna get the
this
charge
tall.
Wow, Mike is just unloaded.
Wow!
Someone drank their haterade on the way over here this
Mike
morning.
Yeah.
goes to walk his dogs and come back, and Jeff is his bitch.
This is the
like
best
you got
commentary
some-
we've had on Enter the Crucible.
It's because we have the
Gym partner
entire city of
charging.
Orlando here.
Try and talk about this game a little bit.
I always love Carter trying so hard to get us on point.
I'm glad someone is.
It looks like the daughters were not able to clear as much infantry and light cav out of the way as Dr. Tran would have liked to get the exemplars in a really good charge position, but they're going to get a couple models.
I think we should call him Doctran. I think that's quicker.
Doctran.
Doctran.
.com.
Because it's like you're saying it
Sounds like.
normally.
Is that his rapper name?
Yeah, Doctran. I'ma heal you
.com
with
might
my
be one of the funniest Things
rhymes.
about 30 Rock.
.com.
Never gonna commit crimes.
And we're off point again.
See, I think Dr. Tran works because we're going with Dr. Jones with the same short round.
I was
voice.
thinking
Yeah,
Dr.
but if you go,
from
if you go
the
Doctran.
Flash comic.
14.
Okay.
8+6?
Yeah.
It's
The what?
PAL 17.
The Flash cartoon, Dr. Tran.
Yeah, the Here Comes
Here
Dr.
comes
Tran.
Dr. Tran. It's hilarious. If you
Down
ever
goes the
watched
Soul
it.
Hunter.
I don't.
Yep.
F the Flash.
I was at the Reckoner, I believe.
What's that
No,
have to
he
do with
didn't
anything?
make it. It's not a comic from the Flash.
I don't care.
You pressed, he hit the hard 8.
No one likes the Flash.
So just curious, because I know from time to time we do pick a scenario to.
My wife calls me that
showcase
sometimes.
Unit.
Is that a
the-
good
yeah,
thing?
different armies.
They're gonna get
Did they roll
It's
for
great.
this one, or is this one that we?
This one was rolled.
Okay.
This was as random as possible.
Because I was wondering, I'm like, why are we jamming these two armies up in the center? And I was like, okay, it was random.
To be fair, it kind of replicates the GigaCon game because that was also a zone in the center type situation.
But that was also a game where Adam Stewart had Bane Knights.
Yes.
So
Oh, he had
I think the Bane Trolls
We
and
wanted a
Riders.
complete. We wanted a complete
Is that what you wanted
Yeah, see, I would've-
reenactment of the GigaCon.
Well,
game.
none of us have painted Bane Riders, so
Or
Well, you
Bane
need-
Riders, I mean, not Bane Knights.
You need to work on that.
7, 8. You're 7.
I just built mine
I know, and they
like
should
an
be.
hour ago.
Right, you had an hour to paint.
you had a whole week to paint.
Could have got a base coat or two on.
Jeff, you just need to step up and make it happen, sir. You just need to get in there. And you should realize that most of our commentating, there's a game going on. I'm not terribly, you know.
They don't
focused
want. They don't listen to us for the game.
on it. They can watch
Harmonious
that.
Association.
They listen to us because of our stellar integrity.
You got Testament going. He's going to start throwing revives out there.
Here,
Be interested to see what he brings back and where.
Infallible moral compass.
He's going to need to bring back both of those Vengers if he can, because to me, the previous turn to move the Exemplar Knights was a poor choice. I would have moved the Vengers out of the way first to kill off more of the Cav. If he doesn't, I think he's going to lose all three of those Vengers
Spend
next turn.
1 to raise.
Oh, he's reaching for Vengers.
Spell Vortex.
Oh, I thought he was.
Raise Mike
Oh,
here.
here we go. Bring it back. Bring it back.
He might be setting up for feet.
Charge range. Charge range.
Spend another.
When you spend 2 to raise the 9th there?
Yeah.
Pause your clock real quick.
You know, this is a quick game. It would help us on our schedule.
Okay, so you had 6, right?
Yeah, they would. They would.
So Harmonious takes it down, so you should have.
Doc
4.
Tran has to go see Guardians of the Galaxy tonight, so he needs to move this along. Either die
So you got 4.
or kill.
Because
And-
based on our timeline, Guardians of the Galaxy just came out.
Yeah, it just came out. Oh God, I can't believe we give that away.
They know when we record.
So hopefully you guys like Exigence, the book.
By the time we talk about how cool everything is, the next book will be out.
Not to mention, we're probably interrupting our normally scheduled broadcast for Gen Con.
This one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably true as well.
Hits.
So
What's your pound strength?
Take your.
There's going to be a Gen Con recap, isn't there?
yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Probably two.
there-
Two Gen Con
There
recaps.
has been a Gen Con
so 11 is
recap.
minus
Didn't
4.
you listen to it?
Already.
Okay.
I can't believe I won all
So
three
is Troy
events.
taking his extension?
Let me look.
Which ones did you play in again?
Look how you just it seems like he just stopped his turn.
That would be BattleCon, Crossmaster Arena.
Okay, so clean up the board real
Did
quick.
you win Dark?
Whoa, he did. He didn't take his
And
extension.
Relic
Then Relic Knights. Okay.
Currently,
Interesting.
So he didn't make it. Did he make any attacks with Avengers?
One. Killed one of the middle calves
So why
from a
didn't
strike in the back.
he?
in the
He had 4. He had 3 more to activate.
have no continuous effects in the maintenance phase.
Did he run out of time?
So he doesn't think it was worth it.
I don't know.
I think that was his last activation. He might have thought it wasn't worth it.
You know, the last tournament I went to, I was very happy because I only had to use my extension once, which was nice.
You know you only get one.
No. Last tournament.
use
Last
it whenever you
tournament.
want.
Last tournament. Last tournament.
I thought
only
you
used it
guys,
once.
if you didn't use them, you can't save them up per game and use them all at once later.
Sure. Just be like, I'm going to have a 50-minute turn.
It's like playing against Matt.
That's called Death Clock. Let's see what Stuart decides is a priority here. If I was him, I'd be trying desperately to get those Avengers off the table. Because you take much of Dr. Tran's assassination threat
What did Gorman do?
once Avengers are gone.
Nothing.
Oh, he didn't need to
The
activate.
Testament's going to pick up a lot of souls this turn.
That's more than likely.
Okay.
Stewart's going into the tank.
Oh God! Did you have to say that?
I did.
I wonder which module he's going to activate next.
Oh, God. You just encourage him when you say that.
You know, I really like the Soul Hunters and Dara Wraith module.
Actually, yeah. I don't know if it's untouched.
I'm going to stab you in your sleep. Here we go.
I like it when Mayhew laughs a whole lot during a segment.
Don't you?
That's the only time he puts his face in front of the microphone is when he's laughing.
All these 9 seconds.
It's true.
Accurate.
Everybody hear that? I'm laughing. Ha 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 ha.
Look at me, I'm
now
enjoying
I see.
myself.
Mike is only bagging on Jeff this game because he can't see the screen.
Can't be targeted.
To actually commentate on the game.
He's just lined up across from Jeff and shots
In case you
fired.
wanted to be aware of that.
We love you, Mike.
Pretty much.
We have Herco.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for adding.
Looks like we got the War Witch throwing out a spray.
God, I hate that. I hate that model.
Everyone
the
has that
passion.
model.
Fair and balanced.
Starting your book.
Saren is the Fox News
Hits your book.
of War Machine.
That's right.
I thought JP was the Fox News of War Machine.
7, 8 hits. On the knight next to the jack. 7, 6, 13 hits.
Doesn't say
That-
much for
that
the War Witch
comment's funny.
Siren if she's the
Hey, yeah, I promise.
Both of
That
those.
comment is very funny.
7 and 11 hits. On your daughter. 7 and 11 hits. Okay, so I hit all
We
of them.
should match up
It is they're all corroded.
JP versus someone playing Striker 3.
nothing. That's in on
and
this
just
first night. 16.
Train that.
You know,
Heck
Mayhew
out
is
of him.
just
On that night.
just on a mission.
You should. You should play him with Striker 3.
I
and
want to crush him with Striker 3 on multiple occasions.
whoop him.
3 to 5.
That would be
Does he listen to
hilarious.
this podcast? I mean,
I hope
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
2 is corroded.
I've been given orders to get better with commandos and
Yes.
just wreck face with trench commandos.
You know, after playing against them, they're not that bad. When you have
That sounds like a rousing
like
endorsement.
8 solos that help them.
I would actually really appreciate if Mayhew never says rousing again.
While looking into your eyes lovingly.
No, only if he's looking into his eyes lovingly.
Don't bite it.
No, I'm just going with never say it again.
I don't even think Mayhew knows what he did.
Thanks to target him with spells, right?
So it seems like Stewart's putting a lot of pressure on the book.
I
I can imagine why.
I don't know why.
Can I have a feat, please?
I'm curious how well Adam Stewart can hear what we're saying.
Derek's going to go. Derek's going to Hellfire him. Okay.
I'm pretty sure he can't hear us at all. We're not nearly far
7,
enough
8
away.
hits. Concentrate 14.
Or we're in another studio.
Death.
Yeah,
A remote location.
so far away. This is after we posted videos where we actually yelled at the people who are playing.
Yeah. Upkeep spells.
There goes an exemplar, Aaron.
Like calf movement.
That makes the other Aaron's tougher? Or harder hitting, I should say.
Well, makes him tougher.
these
Gives
guys
him
are
+1
in
armor as
Yeah,
well.
that's the Knight's Exemplar.
Oh, a nice exemplar.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Templar,
Yeah, no, he's through
Exemplar,
out
and
on
Knight
Coil.
this,
That's
Knight
fine.
that.
Moving there.
I actually love the
I
exemplar
can't
unit.
remember
I think that they're just an awesome, of the 6-man unit that you see from Prime.
With the knights?
Yes, the basic
Yeah.
Knights exemplar.
And they're phenomenal with Testament. 'Cause
This
you can
race
run them
should go.
down to the point where they're all ridiculous.
And then you bring a couple
And
of
you
them
bring them back, and then you have enough guys to continue to fight, and then a couple more die, and then you have that.
Oh,
power
look, now I've
15,
got
16
5 guys
weapon
that
master.
are all POW 16
7,
weapon
8
masters.
hits.
Well, no, it resets.
Does it reset?
Yeah, it does. It resets. That'd be broken.
Of
You
course
can't
it's
have
broken.
You can't have like a power 80.
They
dude running
get
around.
Avengers get battle driven even if you bring it back.
It resets.
I think it's how much
It's the current amount of guys.
current amount of guys in the unit.
Yeah, but
smart.
if you're playing it, you leave one knight available and you bring back 2. Those 2 are still POW 14 weapon masters.
Yeah, you can charge that.
It's also important to point out that Knights Exemplar are not a Crix unit,
7 and 5, 12 hits.
so the rules do apply.
Well, and you have you have 2 left in the unit. Those 2 charge have the benefit of having those guys die and then revive the rest of them, or revive a couple more back into it.
And not just Avengers, they're another great assassination threat, especially with the Reckoner, the way Troy uses it. That Reckoner pops your caster with the flare. Those are all of a sudden Mat 9 weapon
What's your armor
masters
on
that
your
can
Sir,
charge your
it's a
caster.
rare.
Magic
What's
weapon,
your
weapon
base?
masters.
And you have 4 on there?
So, depending on how many of the unit's dead, here's 3 power 14 weapon masters that you cannot stop from getting to your caster at Mat 9.
I'm just mad at Crix again. I just didn't take.
Don't hate.
Oh, we're well past hate.
Don't hate as I'm sitting here building 20 Bane Knights.
I'm just wondering how many units in the game can actually be revived past their starting
Where the
amount.
Black Pants go?
Oh, one.
The Shamblers,
Do they have a hard cap?
the
A
Risen.
cap of 20.
Do
Same.
Mechanothralls have a hard cap?
No.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess. Actually,
How
I'm
many
sorry.
non-Crix solos can actually have uncapped souls?
Scarlet's gonna match.
I actually don't know that.
3, right?
Black
Correct.
Pants, now that- okay, book down.
I do know that Goreshade 3
Black
can,
Panther,
if he
Black
goes
Panther,
first
charge.
and has the
Um,
Mechanothrall boat, get 3 free Mechanothralls on the first turn.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that tactic.
He's gonna charge
For
your-
free.
That's beautiful.
I know. I helped Carter work out. Like,
Well, it
Optimize
costs 6
that.
focus.
I didn't. It was a rules thing. I got sucked in.
It's like I figured out how to get a Mechanothrall on the enemy deployment line on turn
This guy?
2. Charging, not running.
With Goreshade. Goreshade 3.
Knock him over.
With this caster that we're talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry. He'll charge
Clearly,
this guy.
your eating habits are terrible.
He's gonna charge you. He's gonna run. There's 7 in here.
At this point, I'm just saying stuff to make Mayhew have to edit more.
I can't edit these.
This one.
Haha, joke's on you.
Now you look like a stupid
Every
man.
terrible thing we've done so far. Locked in.
Awesome.
Black Bane's getting up in the middle of everything.
Which one?
The knight. He's charging the knight. He's going to charge her. Measurement command. I believe that's everybody
Yep.
in the universe.
The book has been destroyed.
So swing here on 6. 6 and 10.
No
16
longer
hits.
there. Is it over
You're
here?
on fire.
No, it looks like the book was
Nope.
killed. I wonder what killed it.
Nope.
Oh, he was throwing Hellfires from
Death
Downtown.
removed from play.
who was it? Derek Wraith has Hellfire.
Correct.
Yeah.
The Warwick Siren Spray, I saw that.
So just the way it
So
works.
the book
you
gone,
just-
it looks
if
like-
I box you,
Don't you have to
that
put
would be-
5 attacks into it?
I
Correct.
can still do Doors of Judgment, but but you would still have the effect.
Yeah.
So if I want to see if I want to do that.
Looks like you're setting up for
And take
feet.
max damage.
That's the interesting thing about this matchup. The book is annoying, but the book is not invincible in this one. It's not Harbinger book, which is infinitely harder
Do Doors of Judgment.
Because of martyrdom.
because of martyrdom.
Yeah.
If you really want to make sure that thing doesn't die.
It's going to swing.
Unless you have a Blood Hag, which Goreshade 3 typically doesn't take.
The bang.
I don't know why.
The Blood Hag was in Stewart's Gagecon Goreshade thing, but
Miss.
He's
or
gonna
more
play.
incorporeal.
Yay.
Typically. And within 3 of him.
I mean, he works well with just about anything, so if you really felt like you needed it, you could take it.
Okay. Yes. No soul. Okay. His swing on this sword guy. That'll miss. His swing on this sword guy. Hits. You're on fire. It's pound strength 12.
Oh,
12
Fiona.
18.
18.
Mike just put together Fiona the Lash.
He's removed from play.
Or Fiona the Rash,
Wow.
because it's irritating.
Which one is the leading machine?
Way to bring it home. Way to bring it home.
Masterclass in joke telling right
All
there.
right, so we're just seeing these guys just getting all up in there, being placed for maximum
this guy's swinging
annoyingness.
her.
Legion's like,
7,
we
6,
want a
13,
Mage Hunter
14,
Strike Force chick or
7,
whatever.
8,
Mage Hunter Assassin chick.
How many souls has the Testament collected at this point?
We don't kill enough casters with Ravagors. We need an assassin.
He's using the Blackbanes to remove from play.
I realize that.
Be a Black Bane.
I'm glad that you realized that. Thank you for letting me know.
And then we got this swing here. Hits. On fire. Pound strength of 12. Death. Remove from play. I make sure I have Black Banes.
It's a very clever way to get around a lot of Testament shenanigans. The RFP
Alright,
blocks
the
him
game's
from
finished.
reviving that model back,
This one
and
this
it
one
also
are still-
stops him
and
from
this
getting
one
a
is still
soul.
four.
So, anytime you have RFP
1,
effects
2, 3, 4, 'cause I created-
against casters like Testament, or anybody who relies on bringing back
We'll have-
models, collecting souls, collecting corpses, it's just money.
Blackbanes have that normally?
Yes, anytime a Blackbane, as long as the officer,
Malleus?
Blackbane himself, is still
Now I'm
alive,
going to
they
move.
box
Still
a living model.
like I said, I'm taking-
They can replace that model with another Blackbane. And the model they killed is removed from play.
It's actually a weird rules interaction. When you're talking about souls and remove from play, there are effects that both destroy and remove from play, and there are effects that do not. So there are examples where an RFP, a remove from play, will generate souls. It does not look like Blackbanes is one of those, as they remove during the box step.
I think any time it's removed from play, you deny soul.
There are effects that destroy and remove from play. When a model is destroyed, it's removed from play. I'll see if I can find an example for you, but it goes under the actual remove from play
Actually, I
ruling.
think that's a ruling. If you're RFP'd, you don't generate
Oh.
Yeah,
corpse
you
or
never
soul
generate
token.
corpses or souls if you're removed from play.
And you can never be like read from if you're a war beast.
Too much Mark
Sorry.
1 influence. Thank you, guys.
I mean, if you want an example of non-destroyed removed from play, the Hyperion's crit. Because it's on hit.
Very relevant, the Swamp Troll. Critical
Oh, yes.
consume.
Mm-hmm. Or the Archangel has just consume on its beak.
Oh, there we go. There
Yeah.
we go.
You want to deal with the book, you just get that Archangel in the middle of a Menoth army
do a
and
ride by attack.
throw that one attack on it.
Order there.
Yep.
And there's my
The beauty of Cavalry Warcasters. You can advance forward, pop feet, cast
going to
spells, make
Archery
attacks, and then get out of dodge.
soul on her back.
Ride by
Back in the
attacks
hole where
are
it was.
probably, I think, the strongest rule that
I'm
Cavalry
about to remove him
Warcasters
from play,
get
so
over other
we're there.
Then there's the
footbound Warcasters.
the
I'm
very
going to-
rare light cav
Mockery of life.
warlock in this case,
Oh gosh.
or the pain that I feel that Cray is not light cav, but
So within 3 of another model unit and in formation.
To be fair, he would be cray-cray if he was light gas.
Oh my gosh.
all right, we're just
Mockery.
setting a standard with this podcast.
So within 3 of another model in the unit.
There are no refunds on this podcast, folks. I'm sorry.
Here.
Well, they could just click X. Don't do it. Don't.
I will pop my feet. Okay. On the stationary, these 3.
Yeah,
On the stationary,
Goreshade's feat is
these 3.
devastating if you don't have a way to stop stationary. Sometimes.
I'll pull out a little bit in a minute.
Yeah,
Looks
there's
like
a-
he's catching all the Avengers except
on
for
stationary,
one, which will probably end
these
up
two.
being killed anyway. And that's going to allow him to remove that unit from the table.
On the stationary,
And
these 2 and these 2.
This is what I was saying in the podcast, that Goreshade, he has his assassination play and he has attrition play. A great attrition play is stationaring most of an army while you're reviving your stuff back and then getting a free turn out of it.
These 2.
Essentially.
I think we also see the very interesting interplay that you have, not only of the incorporeal that he's bringing to the table, but also the use of what is the revive called? It's Mockery of Life.
Mockery.
And the natural ability of Blackbanes to generate more models to allow that place effect to really get them in an optimum position for the feat.
And you also do like dirty things like
This one.
mockery something next to your target that you want to stationary, and then feet on the thing you just mockeried.
I think that's good. Okay. I'm gonna finish.
It's a good way to get a Bane Thrall next to a opposing caster, Mockery a Bane Thrall back into play, and have the -2 armor debuff. Especially that caster's already been feeded on by something else and is now stationary.
The timing on the feet versus mockery is just all sorts of interesting plays you can do with it.
He's going to curse this thing. Range 9. Okay. He's going to Thresher. So on him, auto hit. Probably death. Yes. Top 14. And on him, auto hit.
And it looks like
Death.
Stewart, instead of going for an assassination, he's just going for stationarying a whole army and killing as much as
He's
possible.
finished. The Bane's going to go get a run charge order. Charge this thing. Okay. Charge this thing. He's going to charge this one. He'll charge that one.
That's going to be a lot of Dead Flamebringers
Run.
and Knight Templars.
Run.
Exemplars.
Okay. On the big thing over there, on a 6, goes to H.
Okay, I knew I could find an
Sounds like
example of this
14
since I'm rules
effectively.
obsessed.
I have no idea what armor is.
I'd have to actually check to see if there is an infernal ruling on that. There should be examples where you are both destroyed and removed from play. It's very rare, but that should actually still trigger effects that go off of destroyed, such as souls and corpses. The most notable one that I know of that may be coming up on a podcast is Incubi, which state that when a model is destroyed, it is removed from play. So it'll actually trigger the destroyed effects, such as corpses, or for, say, a pot, or souls.
Question. If the unit leader is...
Not an issue in this, since all of these are happening during the boxed step.
Tune in next
Adam-
week to see
Adam
what the
and Charlie
heck he's
actually
talking
just went
about.
Through another implication of
Right.
Goreshade's
So
feat.
just-
If you stationary a unit leader,
almost all of this is stationary.
giving and receiving
You gotta
orders
not
becomes a
stationary
problem.
These two,
And
or him. And you have that Kurtzman got killed.
So they just went through the rules interaction there, where if a unit leader is stationaried as a part of the feat, do they have the ability to give or receive orders?
5.
And we've done that before, where if you stationary a unit leader, no orders. So it
Now,
reduces your threat range from charges, because you can't charge, can't shield wall, things like that.
after
Great way to lock down a whole unit by only getting one model.
Right.
And also, if they really need to activate that unit, you drag 2 model combat actions out of it, because if they kill their own leader, they have to promote a non-stationary model, which can now not attack because it was promoted during that game turn.
Yeah, you can't bring the leader back in most ways. Unless you field promote something that's not already stationary.
Exactly.
all these what
You
ifs.
lose it anyway.
Just play the game. Just kidding.
Wow.
I love you
Alright.
guys.
I think Stewart got all 4 cap.
No,
on his
I'm
feet.
sick of hearing, oh, there's more crap we can do because we're cricks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here's one more way we can F you over. Just turn around.
It's kind of their team motto.
Is the battle engine still there?
I believe it's up. Well, we can control a camera.
Oh, yes.
Bam!
I saw Bane Thralls charging in, and I was worried for a second.
These are the ones that race.
Wait, first you didn't want the battle engine to do anything good. Now you do?
It's not Jeff's battle engine, so it probably has more than 3 life when something actually reaches it.
That's true.
Yeah, actually, don't. We'll keep going. 5, 6, 7, 8.
I've seen Jeff just throwing around boosts like it's gone out of style with that thing. Like, and here's another one, and here's a miracle, and here's this, D3, D3.
It still lives to like round 4 or 5.
Oh, I'm not complaining. I just know usually when somebody actually connects with your battle engine, it's it's already cut itself for all sorts of effects.
But yes, by then it's pretty much done its job for me.
Does that cost damage?
No, I apologize. I was mayhewing it.
You got to get a Goblin Tinker.
That guy is pretty epic.
He is.
Danger card!
Danger card!
I've seen him just single-handedly stop rampaging Steelhead Cav.
Yeah.
Why is it like Defense 14?
It'll be interesting to see what Dr. Tran does to come back from that turn, which was pretty devastating.
How does the cart duck?
Stuart left most of his army either stationary or dead, so all the unit leaders are frozen.
Yep.
So it's not going to be much of a turn.
Time for some creative application of what he has.
Correct. Anytime you have Revive as a spell, it's you have something interesting up your sleeve.
3 more. Closest 1 model.
I believe it's going to be.
He's rolling really low on those bounces on the battle engine. Just sadness.
Minus 5 is 3.
It certainly doesn't help that your opponent's army is getting bigger as you fight it.
Yeah, that's a really frustrating thing that happens with Crick sometimes, where the army just is increasingly getting bigger.
You know, the more you play with it, the bigger it gets.
All right.
What?
That doesn't sound true.
That's not been Mayhew's experience.
You think I would?
Maybe was like, mine should be about 2 feet long. If that was, I look around here and I see potential.
We really need to give people some perspective on that. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but hopefully we get Cuevas on here.
You've seen the commercial, Pinocchio, his growing nose.
I'm just talking about
Oh, the spoiler.
that sees potential.
Yeah,
We need to have that happen.
yeah, we do. I'm gonna be in that voice the entire time during the commentary. I look around here, and I see fury. You've got fury. And my voice cracked like a little 12-year-old boy. Puberty.
I'm going to try to be Southern Gentleman for every game. At
I do declare.
I moved these shrimps right over here onto this side.
Sound like a retarded Gambit.
What?
What?
I never heard Gambit speak.
You
What?
okay? You were like 25 when the
The X-Men cartoon.
the X-Men cartoon came out. You have to have seen it. It's bad. I went back and watched it on Netflix.
Have you ever watched your microphone or spoke directly into it? Anytime?
I do what I can.
Okay.
Or is incorporeal.
We're not good at this.
I'm just
Here to here.
If you're
7
mad,
and 8, 15 hits.
I'm not apologizing because you've had 7 episodes to get used to it.
4, so it's complicated.
You knew what this
I
was.
don't even
by
know
now?
what episode we're on. I don't think
Nobody knows.
It's been lost to posterity.
Nobody knows.
You said 8 before launch.
It's a secret lost in time.
So they can't raise back again, right?
Correct. This Black Man's gone. They always
Phoenix.
Scholars maintain the
Soul Hunter.
translation was lost many years ago. I don't think I did that right.
Looks like exemplars are getting into Black Veins into the Soloners.
7 hits.
Okay, Carter.
One
Thank
of the
you for bringing
few
us
units
back.
that Troy has left to really effectively attack this turn.
So what we learned is Carter shouldn't be doing hobby projects during a podcast here.
Because I'm the one person who will actually talk about the game occasionally.
I talk about the game as a whole. I'm not limited by.
Why are you so
Gunbjorn is a part
exclusionary,
of the
Carter?
game.
Do they not have?
Jeff is working on his abomination.
Wow.
Okay.
Jeff gave up.
This is a War Machine podcast, sponsored by... No, we're not. But we'd like to be.
Activated everything.
Dear Tinker House, can you please sponsor our podcast?
He can barely get War Room to work.
No,
They're
Tinker
not
House.
sponsoring
Well,
us.
now they're certainly not sponsoring us. Good work.
Tinker House, get back to work.
Look, War Room is resoundingly okay now.
It's much better than it
I
was.
like it. I mean, I have Apple products, so it works great.
I bought a stupid Apple tablet just for that.
Just for War Room?
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's not good at shopping.
Wise decisions.
Hold on a second. Did we?
The whole
Already paid it
retarded
off.
Gambit thing is coming back to me.
Left, right. So
And then you rage bought a $300 graphics card because you had an argument with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting
Whoa.
personal now.
Which girlfriend?
Okay, back to the game.
Recorded for posterity, folks.
haven't been paying attention to
Good
us
thing
all for the last
none of them listen to this.
10, 15 minutes.
Yet.
Yeah. All right, we cleaned up the board, I believe.
Oh, that'd be awkward.
It's always good when you have to remind... I have to remind my wife, okay, now, just so you know, What's her face is here, not the other what's her face. This what's her face, which is what happened last night when we went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right.
Yeah, but this is not my girlfriend.
No, I
You
know,
know what?
but it's
We're going to move back onto the game before this gets really awkward. Okay, so
Just saying.
I really wish I was watching this more so I knew what was going on.
Still
Something about-
Dr. Tran's turn, so he hasn't lost yet.
It flipped it back to Stewart. When you have 5 miles to activate because the rest of your army's stationary, you have a short turn.
it's like an Epic Haley turn.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fun.
So maybe he bought Epic Haley because we didn't hate him enough.
I walked into
already.
your house last night and I saw Epic Haley and Thorn in a blister.
I mean, rear arc, but I did charge.
And I was like, oh, I know Pirate Captain did not succumb to this.
No.
We'll have
I know.
Which is
please,
Melee Haley?
no.
Is it Prime Haley?
Prime Melee.
Okay.
And May who goes,
these things go. They're
oh
gonna-
no, those are mine.
He's charging this thing.
Those are like the only Signar
charge
models
this
he
guy.
owns.
Yes.
My hate for people talking crap about Striker 3
Which
led
one's
me
this
to
guy?
purchase Haley 2 and Thorn.
That doesn't make any
So
sense.
to prove people wrong about Striker 3, you bought Haley 2.
Yes.
Explain it to me,
And
please.
to prove God existed, he threw away a Menoth army.
Charge her. He'll
Yes.
charge this guy.
Yes.
You know, this is just getting weird.
I don't understand that one.
He'll charge.
There's no context for that particular story, but for this story, it was what is a great second caster for Striker 3?
Remembering that
Maybe the best caster in the game.
sooner.
Potentially,
First one.
but somebody didn't have the best caster in the game.
Striker 3 is not bad when you're like,
15, so
is it trolls? No. E-Haley. Is it trolls? No. E-Haley. Is it trolls? No.
Yeah,
E-Haley.
that is true.
Pirate Captain, we already have the best caster in the game.
Striker 3 has good game against Scorn,
Yes.
right?
Yes, he has a fantastic game against Gorn.
Okay, so
You
trolls are
think about
Scorn.
it against Scorn.
You think about it. He's like, eh.
So 4 more.
All
Do
I
they
hear
have
is support.
Which Scorn?
Do they have Xerxes?
Is it one of those Scorn?
Yeah, it's one of those.
I mean, I do hate when Time Bomb is constantly dropped on a bronze back and then it gets shot off the table.
13 effectively.
I hate you so much.
You're 15.
you hate me? This is my experience.
You succumbed to the dark side.
Officer swing on this guy.
You picked up E. Haley.
The dark side brings cookies.
13.
This is true.
That's true.
And you do have like a certain amount of just pure joy at all the thoughts of all the things you can just do with that caster.
It's very deep.
Let me guess. You're going to have Anastasia Debray. You're going to
Like she
have
does
Gorman.
stuff
You're going to
instead.
have...
This guy's swing on that guy.
You're just going to time walk
Yes.
and then time walk and then time
Yes.
walk and then time walk and time. And then
Yes.
no one's going to ever want to play.
We don't want to play him now.
Yes, you can talk about this game all you want. I'm not stopping you.
You kind of are.
I feel like if I was playing in Troy's position right now, I would really feel like my vessel should have been on the other side of the table. To
Yep,
begin
for
with,
sure, for sure.
To go after
Absolutely.
the black beans.
Yep.
I feel if I was in Troy's
Yep.
position right now, I'd wonder where all this Menoth
Where's
stuff
it
came
gonna
from.
I was going to walk over here. So
Well-
I just barely have you on my front arc.
The upside. The upside is that the Goreshade 3 feet's gone. So
99 hits. Counts makes 13.
This isn't Signor.
3 more, which will kill you.
You broke me. I can't even. I'm a 23-year-old white girl. I can't
This
even.
is going to go. This Wraith is charging.
Just in case there was any hope of getting back on track.
Tesseract charging the battle.
First shot.
Man.
7, 4
You know, after
hits.
every podcast, my wife's like, "Do you have allergies? Your eyes are all puffy and red." It's like, no, they just make me cry
Death.
from laughing so hard.
It's like not considered living.
Oh, he
Dead
picks up
battle
the
engine.
battle engine. I saw that.
Nobody gets
I
this
saw
one.
that.
I've seen Stuart do this a lot of
I'll
times.
take
The charge with the pistol wraith.
Rupert.
I mean,
Effectively 16.
I'm
It's
on
power
board.
12. If you
Yeah,
got a
it's
soul
power
on you, you
10 and
can
7
throw
hits.
out.
Yep.
Well, granted, he's not going to have a soul on him in this matchup,
right?
but
I believe he's at 14.
I did a total of 14.
Well, it's a great way just to combo with his other units that are already getting into melee. So
sure.
It's great positionally.
It looked
too.
like it didn't have much damage left on it anyway, so on a decent roll, you can
Keep going.
While you're
plunk
looking,
off
I
those
did a
last
total
2 or
of
3
14.
points.
Yeah, total of 14, right?
Yeah, my damage roll is 14. Okay,
He's a 14, so no damage.
no damage. Fantastic.
It looks like Stuart's just putting a massive amount of pressure.
If I finish
on
the
Destiny.
unit off, you can't bring any of them back, correct?
Yeah, just like against you.
No
Stewart.
Ashen Veil anymore. She's going to go. She's going to
Curious if he's going to try and finish off that last Flamebringer this turn.
It's a frame bringer.
I think that's the discussion that
They bring the frames.
Spread. Go.
Hate that
Those
model.
3.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That War Titan has just been doing work.
Alright.
Right up in the middle,
turn,
spraying.
7 and 8 hits.
Across Troy's army.
On him.
Hitting 3 or 4
7
models
7,
each
14
time.
hits because you're 14 on him. On repair, 7 and 9. 16 hits. Right?
Yeah, it's a fantastic model to take out the Knights.
Her,
Even though their armor's ridiculous.
He
it's
hit
only
Rupert,
5/10
too.
Corrosion.
So -3. Death.
That's the thing I
Just on hill.
despise about Dark Shroud.
15.
Just
So nothing. And
passive
on
debuff, made that
repair,
spray better and killed that cav.
Oh, he killed Rupert.
No, it's not repair. It's a mechanic.
He's not naturally tough, is he?
Correct.
There goes the Rupert and the last
Oh,
Flamebringer.
Rupert,
That,
yes.
that hurts.
Yeah.
He said repair
Yeah.
to be funny. She's not. I have 2 dogs licking my feet right now.
That's how you like it.
That is a metaphor.
Reminds
the
me of
Caesars of old.
college.
Engage me.
Alright. Yeah.
You remember
So
college?
this
What?
Pistol Wraith is going to go.
Remember what?
He's
That
gonna
was so
shoot.
long ago. It's like
College?
it was like 4 years ago.
College?
Yeah.
I'm aiming. It's on 9.
It was a little more than 4 years
9
for me.
6 hits. I'll take the 12. That's too many dice.
Why are you talking about college?
I don't know. I was trying to make an old joke, but
Yeah.
it fell flat on its face.
Second shot, I will shoot at.
Other pistol wraith don't work.
Pistol rates are solos that if you just don't have
This guy,
anything
'cause
that
he's incorporeal,
can
so I
reach
can
out
shoot
and shoot them off the board, they can stay at this midline and just be super nuisances.
He's incorporeal.
Especially if they're in aim range, Rat 9,
Yeah.
they can shoot stuff
Forgot
from
my
melee
melee
with that,
move again?
you know.
And we've really seen the use of the lockdown on that feat to allow these key solos that extra survivability. So we see the 2 sprays from the Warwitch Siren, and we see the positioning that the pistol wraiths are getting to really just maximize their effectiveness.
Okay. Like the Black Bands. Next.
This is a really cool model.
4 that are remaining.
The Riphorn?
That is just
Yeah.
a wonderful way to commentate on something nobody can see.
Yep.
I'll pick this
I have
one,
good
silly.
podcasting presence.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll post
He is
the
inches.
Riphorn.
Okay.
He's kind of scorny though. Like he hangs over his base like a lot. You might want to move him back if
It's not even my
possible.
sword, though. I just need
I don't think I can.
Because
I've got him pinned to the base because
He would be an awesome.
Okay, here, kind of
I mean, no one plays this game anymore because it's terrible. He would make an awesome like Demon Prince.
He'll walk.
He's very
over
goaty.
Here.
You gonna put gauntlets on the Riphorn?
He's gonna get like fancy brass knuckles.
You scarred him up too.
Yeah,
He walked right here. Okay.
Cool.
This one,
that's why he's got that beard. He's gonna get more beard
6
like on his
hits.
cheeks, and
I like beard. This is a good beard.
He should be a Fu Manchu.
19.
I don't think they have much.
This is really a matchup where Blackbanes can do so much work just because Menoth is not really well known for their solid defensive stats outside the Flamebringers. So Blackbanes have just been tearing up the Exemplars.
Well, Blackbeans actually have a pretty decent. They're Mat 6, which for Crix is good. And then
Mat 6 is awful.
you put Scything Touch on them, they're PAL 12, they cause auto fire if they hit. So Blackbanes can be deceptively good. Their defensive stats are complete garbage. They're 13-10s, I think. It's the incorporeal they rely on to stay alive.
And Stuart just activated the 5 paragraphs of rule that is machine meld into a jack.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're not going to bother to explain that, but if you can just grab your nearest book and read all about the Machine Wraith.
In the Gigacon game, the machine rate was in there for 3 or 4 turns, just shutting down the Reckoner.
You know, I know he mentioned the Machine Wraith, and I have a habit of just kind of discarding that in my mind, partly from the faction that I play. But yeah, with that feat and that lockdown and being able to get the position we were talking about with the solos, that seems like very likely that you can pull off the Machine Meld.
Yeah.
He's charging a caster?
And they're only 1 point, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And stationaring a jack and then machine melding it is hilarious. Because you don't get to try to knock the Machine Wraith, or you don't get to unstationary the jack and then try to knock the Machine Wraith out later, and then activate the jack and do stuff.
He's just going to run.
Because during the control phase, you can't allocate it the focus it needs to shake stationary.
The Soul Hunter's going to swing on the caster.
I killed the one with the soul, actually.
You did not.
Did?
No. Miss, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought this is the guy with the soul.
No, you kept punching this guy,
And I assume you can't meld any character jacks.
and then you rolled Snake Eyes on.
No, you cannot meld a character deck, and you cannot meld Colossals, and you cannot meld
This will be off the
convergence
clock
decks.
here.
Okay.
How do I get him out of the machine again?
Okay.
Looks like Stuart ran out of time there to kill the vendors off.
Why is this station?
If I remember that, you actually have to have a functional cortex. So the odd
yeah,
thing
yeah,
is, if the
yeah.
cortex
You have
is
some fire
busted,
first, so let's go and do your
it
fire.
can't be
Corrosion here?
machine melded. That's why convergence is also excluded, since they don't technically have cortexes.
The feral guys should be able to do that with
Induction nodes
beasts.
technically are. They say they count as a
I'm not sure if
cortex,
it's all
but
fed unless it's
they
all-
actually have a
it's
rule
all
that they can never be controlled by not their warcaster.
Jerks.
So, like Haley's domination spell, anything that would take control of their jack, they can't.
You got a fire on this guy?
Good, now she's balanced.
Because fluff-wise, their cortexes are not. They don't have artificial
12 and
intelligence.
6, 18?
18? Nothing. Is there
And that's the faction you
Okay,
took
so,
to Gen Con without practicing it because you got obsessed with Scorn.
I practiced it a little bit, and how well I did at Gen Con is proof that
Okay,
I
so
practiced enough. You know what you don't do
No,
well
I
at?
think it speaks for itself.
Speaking into a microphone.
just speaks for itself.
I take a command check, just a flat command check on a command of 7. So if the
I have a
jack
feeling
takes
when we listening to
I
this
take
later, I'm
command
like,
of 7. If I fail, and I'm placed within
Shouldn't have gone to Gen Con. Shouldn't have even gone. I'm not going.
If
Fortunately.
That's sadness.
you activate
Yeah.
master,
We got
you
a lot of
can
shows
spend
coming up.
focus, and we have a command check.
I think this is the second time I've
So
watched
each
them
add
play
a
this
D6
game and
or
then
command. You have to
talk about how to get the machine wraith out of the jack.
Stop laughing when you're talking about it.
It's pretty bad, but I'm a 7. So,
But it's so funny.
You add D6 to
Don't
your
crush
8,
my
add
joy.
D6 to my 7. And if you beat me, I also get out. If I exit the jack for any
Jeff, you
reason,
got to stop being short with people.
I'm placed within 3 inches. Just
Oh.
He's never heard that one before.
control immediately returns to you. Okay, so you can activate
sure
the
you
jack.
have.
You can't allocate any focus.
Maybe.
to my jack.
I don't really remember.
Okay,
I don't
so
listen
2
to
damage
fools.
Or spend focus from your caster
Pity the
during
fool.
your caster.
I don't know how he just turned into Mr. T.
Alright, sounds good. Let's do this. And how much focus does Goreshade have?
All of it, because I forgot to activate.
So,
24.
Oh, darn, didn't activate my Warcaster. Now it's pretty much unkillable.
what's his defense?
15. 14. I'm sorry, 14.
Troy's looking at assassination potential at this point.
Well, his army's been beat up enough. Right now, it looks like Goreshade's in charge range of a lot of stuff, especially if he revives
Is that
things
him right
back.
there on the edge of the
That is
zone?
correct.
Yep.
So yeah, you just kill that guy and win. That's been my experience.
Avengers might be able to make it there.
He's full camp on
camp.
armor 24.
Oh.
I mean, it
Just hit
still
Harris
might
the
be worth a
shooter.
try. Your power 16 on the charge,
I was
minus
a-
8 free dice.
I also don't know if
Depends how many you get on him.
Dara did Beyond Death.
When I was stationary?
I hate that ability.
Yeah.
I hate that it
like-
affects guns.
That was a bad turn for Stuart. He just lost against the clock. He ran out of time to get all the activations he needed.
I'll keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dr. Tran does have his extension cell. Because it was useless to use it last turn when you had 3 models.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to see it. Now's the time.
So you have it activated. You have it this turn.
It is currently my.
He didn't have to
Warjack.
use it to go for an assassination. He can use it to kill
It takes damage
a
and
lot of
activates
stuff.
The instant I get out, it immediately becomes your Warjack. It can activate this turn if you can get me out, but you cannot allocate to it because it is my Warjack. If you had Power Booster or something, you would have put it.
Again, the 5 paragraphs of rules that is the machine wraith.
I can check. If you disrupt the jack, does it immediately expel the wraith?
I do not believe so.
Harmonious exaltation.
I know damage. Is it has a chance or is it immediate?
Damage, I think it has to take a command check, and if it fails, it pops out. I think its command is like really low.
I think Stuart said a 7 here. I'll look this up and give us some explanation.
His command is a 7.
Activate Testament so.
Let's see if it's feet turn.
Swing at the splash man.
Okay.
Yes.
Noticed a lot of misses from Troy
Raised using
on stuff he's been trying to hit.
If he was trying to hit his own jack, he might have hit. I think that's a hit. Unless Testament just has really crappy mat.
He does not have magic weapons, right?
He does. He has magic pistols. He can free strike with his magic pistol.
And he has magic weapons.
Yes.
so-
Yes. I have tons of magic weapons. Magic weapon. All these guys have magic weapons.
Spend
Good point there. He does have a nice. Does have a nice wall of magic weapons to block the charge lane that his cav might have.
Yeah, the Warwitch Siren and the Pistol Race were both. And no, not their grade, just those three.
another 3 to get a blocking.
And the black bands, of course, but
Yes, with their magical fire weapons.
Another 3 to get another black one.
I'm not trying to play gotcha. This model's currently in her front arm.
Oh, okay.
I'm just.
It looks like the good doctor is using all of his accumulated souls on reviving a bunch of stuff back.
Pop my feet.
Does the model have to be completely in your control
And the
area?
feet has been
That's pretty good.
has been
Pop my
activated.
feet. Gonna activate the Avenger Cav.
Is there anything not in your control area? Probably not. I think you just sweat, so. Yeah. Okay.
No, both of these lists have, especially with Goreshade 3, just appearing has made everybody kind of
Activate the Avenger Cav.
go dig up and see what magic weapons they have hiding in their army, because that's one of the best ways to prevent Blackbanes from getting very deep into your army on the
This
feet
one's gonna
turn.
charge Digger Wraith.
Or you could just be Signar and kill them all.
Attack her.
That does help, I admit. That's,
As soon as I become. As soon as
and
do
if I remember right, Lady Ayana and Holt, the magic weapons last the round, so
they do.
they are an effective not solo, but
She's
unit to
12
bring
minus
against
3,
them.
So 4.
She's at 12, so
She's
minus,
armor 12.
so minus 2. It's
Oh,
a 10.
yeah.
not 10.
Okay, yeah.
So,
She's
oh,
different.
yeah.
Looks like an impact attack took out Madame Corbeau.
Okay.
Third on the map.
Let's see. Charging Dagger Wraith. Let's see.
Looks like Troy's trying to turn the attrition table around, which he might actually have an opportunity to do so.
Black man's right there. You're facing.
Yeah, I really think he does. With being able to put the 4 knights back on the table, and if with a decent turn with this, I really think he can kill off a lot of important models that Stewart has right now.
I think he's going to have to really focus on the Soul Hunters and potentially the Bane Thralls
This one's gonna
to get the work done that he needs.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually ignoring both Soul Hunters over there in the corner.
Well, he still has some Exemplar Knights to go, so they might be able to get in on the Soul Hunters.
Or he might be trying to free up the knights to charge Goreshade.
He's got 3 in range to charge Goreshade. 4, actually, I apologize.
He's focusing on the things that have magic weapons that's blocking those charge lanes.
Yeah.
So charge here to here. 9. That's it. Here to here.
Okay. I'm 14. Hits.
Yep.
What's your power?
14.
How does the incorporeal ability of that interplay with the impact attacks that Cav would make?
I believe as soon as they make an attack, even an impact attack, they lose incorporeal.
Okay.
9. Okay. Alright. You're 14, right?
Right.
So minus 3 is 9.
Okay.
Yeah, left him 1
And then
point.
the second one?
Left him 1 point short of taking him off the horse. And missed the second attack.
Ouch. Very Wraith. Definitely a jerk.
He has reach, right?
Yeah, he has reach.
I mean, he could try and go for a long black oil on Dara Wraith to make the free strikes very unlikely.
does have a magic weapon, right?
Yes, a reach magic weapon.
Right. So this one will get hit by it.
Shows what Carter knows.
Yeah, I didn't think he did.
He's
Maybe free.
Maybe.
To the war rooms.
He is a living wizard.
Is it? Right in the water?
Yeah.
Jared Wraith's strong enough to stop bullets with his mind. I can't stand that his
No,
damage
I
debuff
actually did
affects
not know where his
anything and
mark
everything.
Was, but I guess. Shit then.
Remember, he charged the mono. This unit charged him anyway. He charged the mono.
There was a model here that he killed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And yes, the Necroscythe is a magic weapon.
Okay. So the two of them will not be able to do this. So I guess I have to switch my game plan.
Yeah, Tro was, I think, was looking at getting all 4 of those knights on Goreshade. I don't think he's going to be able to get but 2. At this point, I'd maybe be looking at turning around and just trying to kill more stuff.
We'll do a charge. This one charge here.
Both of these lists are such a pain with having to wipe out the entire unit, or you're just going to see them come back.
Okay. I'm a 14. That'll hit. A 17. I have no idea what your POW is. That
Should be enough.
probably does 1.
Oh.
And there's the dismounted
Right
Darrow.
here. 6
Hits.
plus.
Such a pain hitting Dragoons when you don't have reach and they just place outside of the melee range of
Yes,
the
it
other.
is. I think he was trying to 1-2 punch him with the 2 cav.
Alright, I'll activate black unit. Charging.
That actually would have been kind of tough to do, though. A POW 14. What's Dalrith's armor?
Before you move on.
17 on
So
the
dice minus 3, and you, 3 dice on a charge. You need 10 damage boxes to knock him off the horse. I would say his first charge at knocking him down to 1 hit box on that horse was pretty good on its own.
Yeah, it's the second miss that really
Yeah,
hurts.
it's the miss that hurt because he could have used it 1 night to charge him and then kill him.
What's command on it? 8? Yeah. Okay. You got it.
That and putting him in the back arc of off the horse's base probably would have allowed him to get 3 knights on Goreshade instead of just 2.
13. Hits.
Okay. How this guy is.
1, 2, 3, 4. You've only lost 2 in the unit?
Yep. So
13. Okay. Minus 4. That's enough.
Yep.
Like charters went down.
Good old Knight's Exemplar.
This is to the banner guy.
That's a
here?
key man to get off the
Okay,
field
so
at this
it's from
point.
the man.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I just wasn't sure which
oh
one you
yeah,
targeted.
yeah.
I wasn't sure which one you targeted.
The attrition is
man?
relatively even at this point, and Tartarus can definitely swing it back to Crix's favor.
Yeah, you keep going.
Banner.
Hits. No matter what the other guy is. It's tough.
That's that.
Looks like this is the extension turn for Dr. Tran.
9 and 7 hits. Straight ones.
And then 2 Goreshade.
I'm a 14. Silence.
So I think I've identified 2 key problems that we've had with this podcast. 1, we have a lot of hobby projects because we're all gearing up. And 2, I don't think we've had any alcohol, which is really hurting our game.
That is true.
I would be
I'm
drinking alcohol.
pretty sure you're 5.
No.
Pretty sure you're 5.
Don't miss,
All right, so apparently all the alcohol is hiding in the game studio.
Look forward to episode 9 of Enter the Crucible, the drunkisode.
So, clean up the board. Corbin's way.
I don't mind driving over to the game studio and interrupting their game to obtain alcohol.
Fires on your guy, right?
It's in there. It's hidden.
And yet again, you did cast a spell much earlier. Maybe I'll get to activate my caster and use it. We'll see. Oh, you killed Madeline. The one time I would have remembered her. Okay.
One we did not think of. I know we talked about it with the Carver Meat Mountain, where we might actually have to impose a time limit,
Yeah.
since most
Okay.
tournaments have timed games. This is another grind fest.
Actually,
What do you think the rough? How much rough time will we have left? Do you have an idea?
5.
5. That seems arbitrary, but they don't need to know that. It'll be a fun surprise.
We're actually pushing max right now.
Wow. Okay.
So,
I'm actually going to allocate.
Should have thought of that. I think we need to. We kind of forget sometimes
Was that
what games are going to be heavy.
Was that
grind.
something that was discussed beforehand that may happen?
It was. We did not talk as much with this game as we did with the previous game, where we identified.
No,
someone
we
might
set
be
this
grind.
up already. We're good. We know the time, and it's already been. Yeah, we're six and a half
I'm
minutes
not-
away.
Professional
and
podcasting.
We don't record all at once. Okay, sure. Right.
I just didn't hear that part of the conversation. That's all. That's why I'm asking. Just to clarify and bring it up, since we didn't. I
That's
don't know if
because
we
it
did.
existed in Clint's head.
Yes. Yes, it happened up here. I'm pointing to my head. I'm not really pointing to my head. I love podcasting.
I would actually say Troy turned it around quite a bit with that turn. Killed off a lot of stuff. Darwraith is gone. Tartar sauce is gone, which is a big deal.
Only
It still looks like
Darwraith's
there's.
horse is missing, and he will be missed.
yeah.
That's true.
It's really hard to kill that horse, so that is still an accomplishment.
It just took 3 feated models to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I'm allocating 3 to your reckoner.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you can allocate focus to it.
I think we will start with
we
reckoner.
might not need the 5 minutes.
Reckoner
Wow,
is-
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a machine wraith go the next round inside a jack. They were always
You ever
taken out.
How do you feel about a reckoner
I
and
do not
Crix?
want to risk a free strike.
It doesn't have choir, so
That's true.
That would make me very sad.
Yeah, it keeps it at only a
can you
what,
cast
max
Infernal
6.
Machine on it? Because that'd be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty awesome. I don't know if it's in the bag. It should be in the bag.
Why isn't he attacking Testament? Testament.
They're afraid to cat.
They're going to be
Yeah.
expecting that.
Yeah.
Continues on his gun. Okay. It's conflict 17. You're armor 17 right now, right?
So they need a.
So 5.
They need to go.
With no focus though, he's got the 3 light cab units that I think or models that I think can get there.
6 and
They need.
6, 12.
This guy needs to go epic again, so you can have Old Testament and New Testament.
He's been waiting.
He's
He's
been
been
waiting.
holding on to that one.
No,
like an hour
we did
saying
not
that.
discuss this joke earlier.
Yeah, Clint didn't actually know that the High Reclaimer and Testament are the same guy.
Nope. Yeah, before I was like, they need to, Testament should go epic, so I can have Old Testament and New Testament.
He's going to cast 5 and touch on this one.
Well, you play Trolls. You have an excuse.
Oh yeah, that's
Then
okay.
we will get a run charge order.
Adam, you're on the wrong side of the table.
We do not see that very often. Apparently, there's more room. I guess we don't have the
He's
2
charging
cameras
cash.
set up.
Yeah. All the other cameras are taken. They're currently in Phoenix, Arizona,
He's charging a caster.
making money.
Are you trying to say these cameras don't make money?
No, they make
Right
money.
here.
I mean, well, not when they're here. They don't.
So his swing and caster on 6, you're 14 and 8. Miss. Second swing.
Second swing.
They have 2 swings.
2.
They have 3. They're like half.
Actually, Carter, we were talking about this, and Adam, we were talking about this earlier about Troy's good usage of the flare from the Reckoner.
Not critical.
Kind of curious with being able to allocate focus. Why didn't Stewart just back him away from the Testament, take a POW 14 free strike?
I believe he assaulted.
Because then the Machine Wraith.
4 swing. 9 and 6.
No, he didn't assault. He turned around.
He just turned
Yeah,
around.
he
and
just
punched
turned
him.
around.
Turned around and punched. But if he took a free strike and did damage, the Machine Wraith comes out and he can't do anything anymore.
It's just damage. I thought you had to take out the
damage.
core.
Damage has an attempt. It's a command. The Wraith has to make a command check of 7 if the Jack takes
Yeah,
damage.
that's the book of the rules that I didn't actually know that part. I was thinking of just backing up to
And that's
drop
it.
the
Assassination win for Stewart
With the help of his own Reckoner.
with the help of his own Reckoner.
Kirk's is broken.
That's a bad way to go.
Thank you for watching video 8. Please join us next week
We're
for our next
sorry.
podcast.
I actually was gaming that you couldn't actually have done that.
A machine wraith did something.
No, it's.
I'm
Nowhere does it